I am Omiki Matthew. Here are the headlines. President Tinubu calls for fairer global climate system. JAMB pegs university cutoff mark at 150. NUJ FCT Council encourages members to imbibe artificial intelligence. For details of these stories and more, do stay with us. And now the news in detail. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has called for a fairer global system on climate action, finance and healthcare, urging BRICS nations to lead efforts towards inclusive development and equity for emerging economies. Speaking at the 17th BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Tinubu said Nigeria was taking bold steps to expand renewable energy, tackle environmental degradation, and achieve universal health coverage while aligning with global agenda for sustainable development. He said this was part of its commitment to sustainable development and global cooperation. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, who made the revelation in a statement, said Tinubu told world leaders that Nigeria was mainstreaming climate action, promoting nature-based solutions, strengthening urban resilience, and aligning its national agenda with the global renewable framework to ensure inclusive growth and environmental security. The president called for a re-evaluation of the current global governance structure and the financial and healthcare systems, urging greater equity and inclusion for low-income and emerging economies, particularly in Africa. The federal government has officially fixed the minimum entry age into Nigeria's tertiary institutions at 16. Education Minister Tunji Alausa, who made the declaration while speaking at the policy meeting of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB in Abuja, also pegged admissions into universities at 150, 140 for colleges of nursing sciences, 100 for polytechnics, colleges of education, and others.
At the age at entry into tertiary institutions has generated much debate, but our position is clear. The entry age for admission into tertiary institution is now officially pegged at 16 years. It was reduced from 18, which was to be effective from this year exercise, hence the need for this compliance. This policy decision reflects a balance between cognitive maturity and academic preparedness. 16 is not negotiable. 16 years of age as admission, as the official age, is non-negotiable. Institutions are hereby directed to ensure strict compliance.
Registrar of JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oluyede, noted that the board's decision is expected to guide admissions into tertiary institutions for the next academic session.
The JAMB mandate, as you all know, is based on three things. JAMB is to ensure that candidates are admitted, taking into consideration three things. One, vacancies. Two, guidelines approved by the proprietor of the institutions. Three, preferences by the candidates. You cannot admit a candidate to a course that he had not chosen. And that is why by law, we say you can't move a candidate from one course to the other without his consent. Because it's a statutory, it's in our law that the student must prefer that course. If it does, and that's why CABs ensure that you can't move them, even if you try, it will not go until the thumbprint of the candidate is secured to say, move me. Even if he scores 7 and he wants to read medicine, you can't say you want to help him. No, tell him you scored 7, you cannot go to medicine. If he knows that he can go elsewhere with 7, then he will change it on its own.
For the federal government, the new age requirement is non-negotiable and must be strictly adhered to by all institutions across the country as the cutoff marks which determined by stakeholders, including heads of tertiary institutions, who agreed on the minimum scores for each category of institutions.